Thank you for your patience, everybody. The Pick and Roll Show is live here on the Board YouTube channel, and this show is dedicated to free picks as well as NBA playoff reaction and breakdowns. And we have some more for you today on our second last episode of the Pick and Roll Show in this format. Next week, we'll be less focused on the picks and more focused on the actual NBA reactions and previews for all of the playoff games, but we'll still have some great content here on the Board YouTube channel. So get subscribed and also drop a like if you enjoyed this stream along the way. As we always do, we start off the show with a recap of the previous day's plays to continue to be transparent. And unfortunately, Randall falls short on the rebounds for our same game parlay here. Max Strus covered in the first quarter. Randall, he started the game so poorly that he missed out on some minutes here, but never really comes close in the rebounds, even though he's under on the points. So we don't get the win here. We drop to plus 10.1 units in the season, 3.5% ROI. Pips, I saw you shaking your head a little bit there. Upset with Randall, I imagine.
Yeah, this was their highest rebounding. This was their highest rebounding game of the playoffs so far. So I so he did just very poor on rebounding. So yeah, he actually had 13 potential rebounding chances, which with his efficiency he should get 7 or 8. So I don't think yeah. So 50. If anyone said to me like they'll have almost 60 rebounds with the way, like he's by far. So the first 3 games, he was by far the highest rebounder, the best rebounder on their team. So it was expected if they get 60 rebounds, he will get like 13 or 14. So very also he got hit in the eye, poked in the eye in the first quarter, and he looked like bee sting him in the eye. So yeah, I don't think he was messing inside or a lot. Like he wasn't trying to rebound. We had Brunson with 9 rebounds, Barrett with 7, Hartenstein 6, stopping in 12 minutes 6. So like everyone got the rebound besides Julius, and I'm not. Next game he'll get 15 probably. So
yeah. Unfortunate, but
rebound. It's just like lucky bounce every time. So you can only bet them on numbers, no some analysts and anything. So
it really feels like the playoffs have been extraordinarily unlucky. Like a lot of stuff that you see the same match but other games and it works out, but the day we bet it doesn't work out. But it's certainly been frustrating here. But we have 2 more episodes again for the Pick and Roll Show in this format. So right now, again, the shows are very pick centric. Next week, we're going to start to be more of the analysis centric as it gets really difficult. It's already difficult, but it gets even more difficult for the conference finals with even less games and likely even higher limits. So let's try to close off strongly here with a same game parlay. First of all, in the Suns and Nuggets game for today. Maybe we'll see if we have something for tomorrow. But the one pick today is in the Suns Nuggets game. You've been watching the show in the playoffs in this round. There should be no surprises here. We are going back to Durant and Jokic on the same game parlay, 25 plus points each. And to get us to minus 110 odds at DraftKings, we're also going to toss in Denver on the alternate spread of plus 12.5. So a little bit of an interesting same game parlay here. Going back to the 2 superstars, it has worked for us in the playoffs. Has worked a lot. If you bet in every game, you would have had success with the 25 plus on both of these guys, and we're adding in the spread here. So, Pips, I'll go to you. I don't think there's much that needs to go into it, but why do you continue to like what Durant and Jokic can provide us from a betting standpoint?
First off, you had Durant, also another poor game last game, but still, even with his poor game, missed 3 free throws, shot barely 40% from the in the game, and some will say 40% is not that bad. Yeah, it's when you are Kevin Durant, 40% from the field is terrible. Also, it's his shooting tools. So, like if he gets 5 layups, then as he did or dunks, then he's actually shooting like 5 from 20 from the field. If you take on jumpers, and KD being anything less than 45% on jumper is very, very, very low. So yeah, elimination game. We know like there is a good data of KD elimination game numbers last season. Even with terrible series against the Boston Celtics, he was very poor first three games. Didn't manage to score at all. And the elimination game, he still scored 40 points, 39. So we all know the elimination game against the Bucks game year before, also tremendous game, 48 points. So elimination game, KD is different, and yeah, I think the great spot for KD. Uh, Great spot for KD. He'll play probably 46 plus or even maybe entire 48 minutes. Wouldn't be surprised by it. They are coming home, so Denver is a bit different away team. I also think the Suns don't have enough power to blow out the Denver, so that's why we are going with spread. Two games where they won at home this season, both were single digit wins, even though KD and Booker played out of this world. Last game, Booker started unbelievable again. He was from 8 in the first half and had 19 points. And then in second half, finally come to the earth and missed almost every shot in the second half. Until late into the game, and they were down 20 with 5 minutes left. Then he made some other shots. So yeah, I think we see another close game at home for Suns. On the other side, when it's a close game, we can expect fireworks from Nikola Jokic.
Yeah,
I don't think that's questionable. So yeah, another elimination game for. It's not elimination game, but they want to close the series, and it's Nikola Jokic. So last year against Golden State Warriors, he scored 25 plus in every game. So far in this series against the Suns, first game blowout win, 24 points. But because it was a blowout win, if he closed the game, he would cover this. Next game, 39, 30, 20, 53, and 29. So also last game, 29, it was a blowout game. So I expect 30 plus from Jokic. Ayton is questionable. He could be done for the series. I mean, he was playing poor, but I think they remained the same kind of matchup. I think they lost in the last game because they had some troubles with letting Jokic play one-on-one. Everyone was close, so Jokic went to playing a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of stuff that created way better offense from the Denver Nuggets. But that's usually the thing. At home, away, they tend to go more to Jokic isolation. And I think that's the case tonight. And also, this spread 12.5 should be on point here for this game. I expect a close game and to go either side. I expect single digit win for either team to win this game. It will be close because Denver is on the road. If this was at home, it will be like -6.5 for Denver. And
really.
last
You think the spread would be that big if Denver went home?
Yeah, it was 5.5 last game.
Right. Oh, you're right.
They were completely annihilated last game. So next game probably higher. So if Suns somehow win, I think next game will be also 5.5 or 6.5 for Denver because at home they are just another dimension of a team, and that's the thing we could saw last game. Jokic had a great game, but so did everyone else. Like Jamal Murray had poor first half, then second half he scored I think 17 points. Great game for Michael Porter Jr. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter because it was a great game, but he had 19 points, 5 threes in first three quarters. Bruce Brown 25 points. Do we need to say more? Like huge showing from other guys besides Jokic, but on the road I think it's more leaning into the Jokic scoring.
Yeah, and what we saw from Game 4 and maybe a little bit Game 3 as well, where the Suns kind of were okay to allow Jokic to do his thing and not really get other guys going. They could make up for that, and hopefully Durant is a big part of the reason
So
why.
I could make this part of a discussion because I have like some deep thing for. I don't know if I already spoke about it on the show. So the thing is why Suns were playing better and won at games at home is because they Okogie and Craig are not playing anymore, or at least Okogie is playing some low minutes, but he was like minus 20 in 10 minutes. He won't see much time anymore. Yeah. So they swapped them with Shemet, TJ Warren, and Terrence Ross. And the thing is, we all know, even casual fans know that these guys are great shooters, scorers, and terrible on defense. And the other two guys are great on defense and poor on offense. So the thing is, so you just change the shooting, so your offense is working very better. They can't easy double team KD and Booker, but on the other side of the court, you kind of stink like on the other side. So if Denver play motion basketball, there will be a total mess, and there will be a lot of wide open threes, and that's not what Suns want. So Suns decide to run everyone away, especially Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. from shooting threes, and they allow Jokic to play one-on-one, because when Jokic play one-on-one against good defensive player, TJ Warren, Terrence Ross, and Shemet can stay on their guys in the corner, and they are not exposed. So they are settling for Jokic more on offense, so they can play more Shemet and TJ Warren on the other side of the court. And yeah, if when you have 4 or 3 weak defensive players on the court, you are happy that other guy is playing isolation against your best defensive player. So that's the thing. And also they just Monty said, just get them off 3-point line, let them shoot inside, and we are good. So that was the game plan. In the game 5, that kind of went off because they ran Jokic and Denver played with some pace, so they get into their sets and motion pretty quick. So mine also helps that Michael Porter Jr. had great start, so it was very difficult to defend. But if they just slow the pace down in this game, it will be down to Jokic inside scoring, and they're happy with it. Even when he scored 53, they won. So that's the thing. Don't get your worst defensive player exposed, because if you play dribble hands off with multiple screens, there is no way TJ Warren or Shemet can follow Michael Porter Jr. or KCP.
Right. So a little bit of sacrifice, but to help them on the other end. So they'll be looking for a higher scoring game. Also, when it comes to home games for teams, like the cliche is that role players play better at home, but it's true. Role players, they do play better at home. And those are the guys you talk about: Warren, Shamet, Ross, who likely will step up today. And if they don't, I mean, Denver are going to easily win this game. But Durant has been shooting, maybe not as efficient, but he is shooting like near 30 attempts per game. So he is going to go for this 25 plus. So happy with this bet for sure. Some of the comments here, Zach Johnson, talked about Jokic good for 30 today. So hopefully we get that, and hopefully we get the other parts for the official pick for today's show. Before we go into the analysis of the 2 games a little bit from yesterday, and also talk about tonight as well, we'll talk about the 76ers Celtics. Question here from Don Bucko that I will answer here. So he's asking if this is the last week where there's going to be picks in the show. I would say right now, Pick and Roll is a free picks show with the additional content of the breakdowns, reaction analysis, whereas the shows next week will be the opposite. It will be more primarily focused on reacting to the games, analyzing the games that are coming up, but also there will be betting involved. We'll be looking at game lines. If I have a good bet, I'm going to share it with you guys. If Pips has a good bet, he's going to share it with you guys.
Yeah,
but
I'll say it will have links, and we'll say some bets, but that won't be official for Pick and Roll channel. I think that's the only difference. I'll say I like this bet, I like this bet, I like this bet probably, but it won't be like official bets moving forward. I think that's the thing. We'll just talk betting and games and reviews, and we'll just trying to find the good way to look at some matchups.
Yeah, and obviously, as we look at the matchups, it will be betting related as well. It'll still be a betting related show, but it won't be as focused on providing free picks to such a consistent degree because it's going to become so tight with the odds on those games that it's just going to be so incredibly difficult to do. And we talked about it before the playoffs even started that this was probably where we were going to end with the pick and roll, which would be after the second round. But there'll still be some great content. Hope you guys still stick around for those shows at the end of this week. Tomorrow will be the last time we do pick and roll in this format. I mean, the show may be pretty much the same. It just won't be called pick and roll necessarily anymore. All right, let's go into reaction a little bit to yesterday's game. So first of all, we did talk about the Heat and Knicks to a certain degree. So let's move to the Warriors game. The Warriors, they just were relentless on offense. Steph Curry got some help, and they really beat down on the Lakers to force a game 6. So Warriors, obviously, if they can keep this up, I mean, they can go and win this series. But what did you make of Steve Kerr's adjustments for this game to give the Warriors the edge and grab the win?
So I actually didn't watch this game because it was so frustrating with Rand lost that I just
Right.
went to sleep because that game started 4 in the morning here. So I'll rewatch it today for sure. But the thing is, I don't understand how Golden State Warriors out rebounded Lakers by 10. That's kind of big
Yeah.
because if you say look at the shooting, Lakers almost 50% from the field, almost 40% from three. And when you look at the other side, same thing for the Golden State Warriors. So it's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, more possessions for Golden State Warriors and more scored threes, and yeah, that's the edge. Uh, Huge game from Steph Curry and Draymond started the game. I think he scored. I watched like first
He had
quarter.
14 at half. He was
He had
great.
8 points in the like first 5 minutes of the game. The first time out was at 17-5, I think, for the
Yeah,
for the
it
Golden State
was.
Warriors
It was.
and the Golden. So he had scored half of these first 4 points of the team, which kind of is interesting. Huge game from Andrew Wiggins, huge game from Damon Green, and huge game for Steph Curry. Another stinker game by Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, but they still managed to win, and that's kind of huge.
Yeah.
Gary
So
Payton is actually doing a lot of good things for this team. So starting Payton was a good decision.
yeah,
They were on the way to win even the last game. So
he
yeah.
started really well, and he was a plus 25 in this game, which is pretty crazy. Every Warriors starter was plus 12 or better. Peyton up to 25, and every starter on the Lakers was minus 9 or worse. LeBron was a minus 16. AD was a game worse, minus 22. So, yeah, Warriors starters. It just felt to me watching this, from what I saw, they ran the Lakers out of the gym. They had the crowd behind their back, and they used it. They pushed the pace. They crashed the glass. They were getting offensive rebounds. They were generating second chance opportunities. They made a bit more of an emphasis to get to the rim today. So they were shooting free throws. The Lakers, it just felt like they were off. It just felt like they were off. I mean, they played fine from a statistical standpoint, but the energy was completely with the Golden State Warriors, and just the pace and getting those extra possessions was enough, as you said, for them to get over the line here. Let's go to the next one here. We have the Boston Celtics playing tonight, fighting for their playoff lives. They were the favorites to win the championship, but they're down in this series. What adjustments do you see Joe Mazzulla having to make in order to be able to snag a win here at Philly to keep this series alive?
First off, energy. Then he needs to fire them up. That's it. First part of the and second part is figure out how to defend James Harden and Joel Embiid pick and roll. That was the thing in the game too. It was like perfect execution every time, and it was easy for them to have perfect execution because they were just Brogdon is like very bad, very poor at defense. So his pick and roll defense was kind of. I think James Harden was playing better defense than Malcolm Brogdon did in this game, and that's kind of telling.
Yes.
Brogdon was very poor, so I don't think Malcolm Brogdon should play that many minutes. That's the thing. So I expect less minutes for Malcolm Brogdon, especially when James Harden is on the court. So they were actually switching, so switching 1 to 4 and dropping at 5. So every possession it will start with Maxi getting the ball to the half court and then playing pick and roll with James Harden or isolating James Harden. Then they'll switch Brogdon on Harden, and then Harden with 15 on the clock. Then start going into the pick and rolls. He will target Malcolm Brogdon every possession. So I don't think they need to switch this. First of all, it's very far away from the rim. No need to switch. Also, you need to have Derek White all the time on James Harden. Match the minutes and play Derek White on Harden all the time because Derek White is the best to defend James Harden out of everyone. I don't know, maybe to just when Horford is dropping, Embiid is always wide open at the free throw line. So you need to bring another guy from the corners and leave PJ Tucker open or whoever is in that corner besides Maxi. Leave them wide open in corners and help on Joel Embiid. And come to him from the side that he can make an easy pass. Just don't let him shoot wide open mid-range from free throw line. That's easy shots for Joel Embiid, especially in the NBA environment. If you can shoot like 45% of these in the playoffs, he'll get fouled. So if he shoots 45% and gets fouled 2 times for free throws, that's over 1 point per possession, per shot, and that's crazy offense in the playoffs, crazy efficient offense. So they need to figure out energy, pick and roll defense, and that's the main thing. On the other side, don't attack isolation with Jason Tatum. That's the thing we spoke about last time. So run the ball more. Just move the ball, and you'll get your spots. Because if Jason Tatum is isolating against Maxi or Melton, James Harden is like resting on defense. He's not getting exposed. He's saving energy, and it's easy for him. Don't make it easy for him. Also, don't. I think this is the time that you don't want to check Embiid inside. Like go, it's same thing with like Gobert. Like you don't attack when you are not in a good position. You don't attack a rim when it's not a great position against Joel Embiid. Okay, they go to the line a lot. They are now going away game, and I don't see them having another favor referees. Game.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Yeah, that's true. But 2 in a row, I think if they get 3, that will be very poor.
Yeah,
you have on one side you have James Harden and Joel Embiid, and you get out shot at free throw line by so much. That's kind of unbelievable. And yeah, so the other side, 76ers need to find. They just need to play their game 5. Just repeat the game 5. That's it. Don't let Tobias Harris in foul trouble. Be very aggressive. No need very aggressive Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey to exploit. So they will adjust probably on pick and roll James Harden and Embiid. So that will leave way more space for. Someone said, I had an interesting comment on Twitter. I saw why Tyrese Maxey had all these problems against the Boston Celtics, and that's why, because they don't help with pick and rolls. Last game they started helping in the second half. Maxey's 30 points. First time, great. First great game against the Boston Celtics. So, and also Tobias Harris had a great game against the Celtics. So, if they decide to clock on the James Harden and Joel Embiid pick and roll, Maxi and Tobias need to step up and a lot.
Yeah.
So we need to have good games from these two guys, and then pick and roll. James Harden and Embiid is by itself great offense. So they just need to get someone else involved, and they are good.
Right. So for the Celtics perspective, we questioned their mentality in an elimination game. I'm not sure how you can lack any sort of motivation to work hard and do the absolute most that you can to get a win, but we'll just have to see. If you want to talk about mentality as well, like here's the Sixers who haven't been to a conference final in maybe it was the last time Iverson in was it 2000 2001. I'm not sure if that's the last conference final they were in when they got to the finals in the early 2000s, but Joel Embiid has never been there, and there's been some games where he hasn't stepped up. So I'm wondering if today is the day where this is a kind of the legacy game where he steps up and sends his team to the conference finals. So I'm very excited for this.
It's also a legacy game for James Harden.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
As well for him.
He
I would not quite
to
the degree, but it's just reminding
I would
everybody.
say to the degree because he was to the finals when he was sixth man on the team. So this is like
Yeah, I was thinking he was in at least one conference finals with Houston. You can remind me if it was more than the one. It would have been 2018, the 2018 conference finals where they had that game 7 against the Warriors. Was that was a conference finals, right?
Yeah.
The one with the 27 threes in a row.
Yeah,
I hate to take you down memory lane here.
It's the same legacy game because like that was they were 3-2 up, and then the injury of Chris Paul happened. So like
yeah,
he lost 2 games without Chris Paul. So I mean,
but today they're healthy. So I guess they're healthy. So they've got to pull through and find a way to win this game with the health. So I'm excited. There's a lot on this one, narrative based and just game based. Like this is going to be a great game tonight. I'm super excited. Final question from the chat before we recap the pick. We have a question from Rypro asked about Jokic 25 plus, which obviously Pip's the fan of, but asking about pairing that with Murray 20 plus. Any info or analysis you can provide for Jamal Murray for today's game?
He had poor last game, but I think they will go to 2-2 game with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and that works for both of these guys. Yeah, I think if it's boosted, of course.
All right.
So I just want to go back to James Harden. I said it's legacy for James Harden, not because he never went to the finals. Yeah, but I mean the ring.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's the best chance. If they go to Boston, they are favorites to win the title. So
yeah, I agree. I don't believe they're favored to win the title. I imagine it'd be Denver, but they are obviously favored to come out of the East.
Yeah, Denver now that leads 3-2 probably, but right. Yeah, as I said, like after the win in the last game, they were favorites to win the title.
Okay, I'm seeing the boost on Jokic and Murray right now. So it was boosted from -140 up to +100 on DraftKings. So +100, yeah, that's a good spot to play this one at for sure. Good value on that. So I support that one. All right. Let's recap the official pick to wrap up today's show. It is in that Nuggets and Suns game. We have gone with Jokic 25 plus, but we're also pairing that with Durant 25 plus and Denver on the alternate spread at +12.5 for -110 odds also there on DraftKings. Once again, guys, this is the second last version of pick and roll in this format here. Me and Pips will be back next week as well for more NBA playoff content. It won't be as focused on free picks. We'll be more focused on analysis and predictions, but we'll be providing leans. And when we can, we'll be providing bets as well for you guys to make as much as possible, just not in this same sort of format here. So Don't be afraid. Still subscribe to the channel. Great content coming for the rest of the playoffs and the offseason. And also drop a like if you did enjoy. Me and Pips will be back tomorrow for the final episode of Pick and Roll on the season. We thank you guys so much for your support all throughout. Let's finish strong. We have a bet tonight. Maybe we have one tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Thank you again. We'll see you next time.